Hello children, today we are going to discuss about the properties of the sound waves or characteristics of the sound waves. Sound travels through air, liquids or solids in the form of waves. The speed of sound in air is 340 meters per second. In water it is 1500 meters per second, and in steel or in some solids it is around 5000 meters per second. So you can see here the sound travels very slow in air. It is traveling at a speed of 5000 meters per second in steel. So sound travels through air, liquid or solids with different speed. So now we will study why it happens, how does it happen, by knowing the characteristics of sound waves. The first property which we are going to discuss today is amplitude. Now what is the meaning of amplitude? The maximum displacement of an oscillating body from its mean position is called its amplitude. You can see here in the diagram given here, the mean position is the center position B. From the B, it goes to A. Suppose you are pushing it slowly, it will just travel short distance. If I am pushing it hard, it will go maximum distance. This maximum distance of the pendulum bob or any oscillating object from its mean position to one side of its extreme position, we call it as amplitude. Maximum displacement means how far maximum this bob can travel from its center position or mean position to its extreme position. Either it can be B to A or B to C. Anyone. If you are pushing from this side, B to C. If you are pushing from right side, B to A. That is called as amplitude. So amplitude of the sound wave is the maximum displacement. Here height of the crest. So you can see waves move in this way. The diagram shown in the second one here, this side, left side, it moves in the form of waves. So wave will, if you see the middle average density here in the center, the height is here called crest and down it is called as trough. So the SI unit of amplitude is measured in meter. SI unit of amplitude is measured in meter. So what is the meaning of the second characteristic that I am discussing here is frequency. Frequency is number of oscillations per second. In 1 second, this pendulum bob or any oscillating objects completes how many oscillations? If you remember, in the previous class, we have seen that the oscillations will take place from B to A to C and C to B, coming again to the center position B. We say that the oscillating object or the bob has completed one oscillation, or if you measure it from extreme position A to C, C to A, that will be considered as one oscillation. In that way, you have to count the number of oscillations by this pendulum bob. In 1 second it is difficult to count, so we may count for 10 seconds and later on we can find the number of oscillations in 1 second, how many it has completed. That will be called as frequency. Suppose the object has completed 5 oscillations in 1 second. That means the oscillation done by the pendulum bob in 1 second is 5. That means its frequency is 5. Suppose in 15 seconds it has completed 30 oscillations. In 15 seconds, if it has completed 30 oscillations, in 1 second how many oscillations it has completed? 2. Number of oscillations divided by time taken will give us the formula for frequency. Frequency is equal to number of oscillations divided by time. How many oscillations have, and that time should be converted into second. That will give us the frequency of that oscillating object. So most of the time we have taken oscillating objects as pendulum, one best example, but sound waves are also producing oscillations only. So its unit of frequency is hertz. Hertz, represented as Hz. Clear? So the third characteristic is time period of sound wave. For completing one oscillation, what is the time taken is considered as time period. Don't get confused, children, with frequency and time period. Frequency is number of oscillations in 1 second. And for completing one oscillation, what is the time taken? How much is the time taken for completing one oscillation is called as time period. It is represented by the letter T, and the SI unit of time period is second. So time period is equal to time taken by number of oscillations. Time taken by number of oscillations. So you can say frequency and time period are related to each other in what way? By seeing these formulas given here. T is equal to 1 by frequency, or frequency is equal to 1 by T. Okay, so in that way we can calculate the time period by using the formula time taken by divided by number of oscillations. And last one we will discuss about loudness and pitch of sound depends on what? Loudness of sound depends upon the amplitude of vibration. If vibration is taking place and the amplitude is very less, the sound will be feeble. You know the meaning of amplitude? The maximum displacement of any oscillating object, any oscillating that sound wave, if it is taking very less distance it is covering. That means small is the amplitude, less will be the sound, low sound. More is the amplitude, naturally the sound will be loud. So amplitude helps us in determining the loudness of sound. The amplitude helps in determining the loudness of sound. And loudness is measured in a unit called as decibel. Decibel. Then again we can see here. So loudness of the sound produced by a vibrating object depends on the amplitude of vibration. Is it clear up to here? If you take a simple example, you take a guitar string or just take a rubber band, just gently you pluck it. Vibrations are very small, amplitude is also very less, sound produced will be very low. You pluck it little bit harder, naturally the amplitude of the vibration will become more, the sound will become more loud. So loud sound is because of large amplitude, more amplitude. So loudness of sound is determined by the amplitude of vibration. The second one, the frequency, how it will help in producing the pitch of the sound. Frequency of vibrations helps in knowing the pitch of the sound. How much sound is shrill? Shrill andre, you can see what is the meaning of shrill. A mosquito, when it buzzes in your ear, it is very shrill, sharp sound. Shrillness of the mosquito buzzing is very high. That means frequency produced by the sound of the buzzing of mosquito is very high. High is the frequency, more shrill the sound will be. Frequency is high, the shrillness of the voice or shrillness of the sound will be high. We call it is of high pitch. High pitch. Higher frequency helps in producing the sound of high pitch, shrill voice. Okay, that is how mosquito buzzing will give very shrill voice, because the frequency, that means in 1 second the number of oscillations produced are more. But if we see, compare with the roaring of a lion. Lion roars. Its sound is not of high pitch. It is of low pitch, but loudness is more. So you don't get confused. Loudness and pitch are two different terms here. Loudness is determined by the amplitude. Pitch is determined by the frequency of the oscillating vibrations. Vibrations of sound. So here you can see, when you beat that drum, sound of a drum, sound of an adult, when we speak, the frequency is low. So the sound is not so sharp. So low pitch. If the frequency is more, the sound will be high pitch. Example, sound of a woman or sound of a child, sound of a whistle. I said best example, buzzing of mosquito, honeybee, etc. When they produce sound, their frequency is high. So the sound is also high pitch, very shrill voice. So from this, what you have understood is the loudness of sound is because of amplitude. Frequency of vibrations help in determining the pitch of the sound or shrillness of the sound. So with that, today I conclude, children. We will learn in the next class about music and